What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. Just over here in the old 7.3 grabbing an extra battery for the camera. The shitty thing about having multiple vehicles when you're trying to do this whole YouTube thing is remember which vehicle has your battery chargers in it, which vehicle has your memory cards in it. It's a pain in the butt. The 7.3 though is filthy. You can see it's just full of all kinds of crap, and that is after making a trip to the dump. When we closed out the last job, me and Chris just went through this truck and threw a ton of trash away, but I really need to go through and organize all the tools. Oh, and I just noticed my buddy's truck over here up the street a little bit. Remember when I told you guys I didn't like the plastic wheel wells on the GMCs, or not the wheel wells, I don't know, fender liner, I don't know what you would call it, but pretty much that part being black plastic, because I know that plastic can, will, and does fade, which this truck is a perfect example of that, and the main reason that I have that philosophy. Now, albeit this is not the most well taken care of truck, my buddy beats the shit out of it. As you can see, it's kind of missing a few emblems, and I think that's like the third tailgate or something. I know the truck's been painted 2 or 3 times, but that still doesn't change the fact that these plastic fenders have never been touched. And as you can see, that used to be black. That was as black as they are on my GMC. The back one, sorry guys, the black one is a little bit darker. If you put the two together, you can really start to see the difference, but it definitely fades out, and that's why I'm not a big fan of having that plastic. So definitely going to have those smooth out and color matched. But anyways, we are not here to talk about Fords today. The reason you clicked on this video is because by now I'm sure a lot of you, if not most of you, have seen the release of the 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 at least. And I decided to step inside to discuss this with you guys, so don't mind that this place is a little bit of a mess. There's a lot of work going on here. Running WORKFORIT out of the office I run all the other businesses out of is, it's becoming a little bit much with the packaging, fulfillment, and all that. So WORKFORIT's about to get its own dedicated space. I'm going to build out this extra room here, as you guys can see, which will become WORKFORIT World Headquarters. Right now it's just kind of like extra storage. And I'm sure you're wondering about the giant pink unicorn over there. Won that for my girlfriend at the fair. If you guys want some brownie points, let me tell you, win your girl a giant stuffed animal. Works every time. So without further ado, the reveal you guys have all been waiting for. I even took my sunglasses off for this. The 2019 Chevy Silverado. Cameraman, zoom that in over here. Who the fuck am I kidding? I'm the cameraman, damn it. So as you guys can see, this is the 2019 Chevy Silverado. Now, I'm sure you guys are thinking, what in Ford and Toyota hooking up on prom night, 2 failed abortions later, and a paternity test on Maury do we have here? Now, what exactly was going through the GM designers' heads when they came up with this? I don't really know, and I'm sure none of us really know. I don't know if it's just the imitation is the whatever sincerest form of flattery. I don't know how that, whatever that saying is. But something was clearly going on here. Maybe they just saw like, hey, these are what the new trends are. Let's just kind of jump on the bandwagon. I'm not sure. There's a lot of things about this truck I don't like. One of which being that it seems like the headlights on Chevy's trucks are getting smaller and smaller. Now it's not exactly a horrible thing, but it's just, I mean, the headlights are becoming about that big. You know, I liked Chevy's big split headlights. It was a nice design feature in my eyes. Clearly I'm in the minority. We need to make really small, sharp, pointy headlights. Obviously, headlights are getting more efficient, and you don't need a giant housing, but the bigger housing fits the look of a big truck. This thing's starting to replicate more, I don't know if it's feminine lines. Did you just say feminine in 2017? But headlights this small really seem to me like they belong on like a car. And I know I'm not alone when I say I see F-150 headlights in the design of these headlights. Like, almost too obviously so. But now that we move on from the Ford-ish front end of the truck, let's move on to the Tundra side panels. I don't know if it's just the deep body lines that they curved into this truck or what it is, but it's very reminiscent of the Toyota Tundra. And then they got this weird body line swooping down here that I'm not really sure it kind of meets this. It's hard to tell. These pictures that they released, there's only a few of them out there, so it's really hard to tell what's body line and what's shadow. And Chevy might have done that purposely. And then the other thing to remember about this truck is may or may not be exactly what gets released in 2019. And as we all know, do not go out and buy the 2019. Buy the 2019 and a half, because Chevy will not include whatever shit they're going to promise is going to come on this truck if you're dead set on getting this truck. And I've heard from a lot of you say that you actually even see the Chevy Colorado in kind of the cab portion of this truck. It just looks like a smaller truck. But once again, this is the 1500, and it seems like 1500 trucks, at least in like the Ram category and all that, they're just getting really small. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously the cab size is the same unless Chevy's going to do something different on this, but something about them just seems like small. It doesn't seem big, blocky, and truckish. And while we're on the side of the truck, let's discuss these mirrors. Chevy, what were you thinking with these mirrors? For one, it looks like long gone are the days of you being able to swap out the towing mirrors on the 1500 trucks or whatever truck that doesn't come with it, because these mirrors are in fact mounted onto the door, kind of the older school style versus mounted up in that little plastic piece, which it looks like it has that plastic piece there. But if it does work out to where we can swap mirrors up to there, you now have holes in your door you have to contend with. In today's day and age, I'm sure somebody will come up with something to cover that, but that kind of creates a new issue. But back to the mirrors, these things look like they belong on a car. If you look at like the older Corvette mirrors, these are obviously a little bit larger, but just the placement, the shape, just looks like they belong on a car. And I imagine once guys start color matching these to their truck, it's really gonna look like a car mirror. And before we just totally talk crap about the entire design of this truck, I'm sure some of you guys in the comments are gonna actually like this design. There was like 2 of you out of a couple hundred on my Instagram post the other night that actually do like the truck. But I will say, Chevy, I mean, I gotta see it in person and I gotta see it in different situations, but I'm thinking it's gonna be really nice that they went back to a round wheel well. That's gonna allow us to run bigger tires. Guys that wanna run smaller lifts and bigger tires, this should hopefully help you out. They're not perfectly round. I can see they kind of oval off a little bit, but that's promising. So I will give them credit for the round-ish wheel wells. But let's jump to the back of the truck. So over here on the back of the truck, we now still see some more remnants of Ford, and we start to even see a little bit of remnants of Ram in this truck. Ford, obviously, with the giant tailgate badging going across. On Fords, it's a separate piece, like on the Platinum, you know, Platinum across the tailgate. It's a separate piece, but it looks very similar to this. And then I'm pretty sure Ram on some of their 1500s, maybe the 2500s, does the stupid, ugly dual exhaust that's integrated into the bumper. Now, some people I'm sure really like that. To me, it looks kind of cheesy. I mean, it's cool that it's integrated into the bumper, but it's like, I don't know, it's just one of those weird factory options that's like kind of plasticky. I'm not a big fan of. And I've also never been a fan of like the rectangular, smaller pinched exhaust. It's like the old ones they put on the Harley where they're pinched like long ways that way and they stick out about 3 feet behind the Harley. Never been a fan of that. But the weird Chevrolet bulge there, I don't know, I would almost rather that just be flat and say Chevrolet. Just the bulge part of it is weird to me. It looks like an afterthought. And then if we look real closely at the roof line there, it looks like we've got a bigger third brake light, which is cool, but it kind of looks like this is either a piece of the roof that comes down with that line right there, or this is an extra piece because this is supposedly the Trail Boss Edition. So I'm not sure if this is like an extra piece that comes on this or if this is actually going to be on every single truck, but it looks like the roof line swoops down a little bit. Now, before we all go super crazy tearing this truck apart and hating it and saying we're never going to buy it, I said the same thing when the 2015 Chevys came out. I had been waiting for them. I wanted to see what they were going to do. And when they released the new body style, I hated the front end. Like, I mean, really hated it. To the fact of where I went to a GMC dealer before I ever even went to a Chevy dealership because I just really could not stand that front end. I didn't know what they were thinking. It looked dumb to me. But then fast forward a few months to where somebody actually got a hold of one and was able to lift it. And all of a sudden, it's a whole new truck. And that's what I always tell people when new trucks come out. Wait till you see them lifted, especially if you're into lifted trucks, or I guess obviously if you're into lifted trucks. But they turn into a completely different truck. Stock trucks, I mean, to me at least, most trucks just they don't look good. I don't know really any stock truck that I'd be like, yeah, I'm down to drive that stock forever. So definitely wait until these trucks come out lifted. Now, that being said, there's already been some people, and this is what I love about the truck community and I love about Instagram and all that. Guys are on it like that. Within 2 hours of these truck pictures being released, guys had already photoshopped them lifted. So I'm going to post a little bit of it right here. You guys can check out a couple pictures of them lifted. I wish I would have printed them out, but it's hard to print them out on Instagram. So you guys get them superimposed on the edit. And they actually do look way better lifted. Now, that being said, it's still a little funky and it's going to take a lot of growing on me, at least. I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to hear what you guys think about it down in the comment section. I got a ton of comments from you guys when I posted it on my Instagram, so I'd love to see what the YouTube world thinks about it because I know it's two separate worlds. And I'm also really curious to see what Chevy does with the 2500s because, as you guys know from the 2016 Chevy release, they're doing actually a pretty big I guess at least front end change between the two trucks, so the 1500s and the 2500s. And that's what I'm staying tuned for. Obviously the 1500s get the body style changes first. We saw that in 2014. And then 2015, they released the 2500 body style change. So I'm not sure if they're going to do the same thing with the 1500 to the 2500 this year. If you're going to get a 2019 new body style for the 1500s, and then 2020 we're going to see it for the 2500s. Not really sure how that's going to go, especially because Chevy is also switching over to the aluminum bodies due to the great old EPA's fuel economy requirements. And before you guys ask, no, this poorly hung sheet that's all off center of the shot was not hung up for this video. This was done for photo shoots way in the past. This room's been used for a lot of different things, so definitely got to kind of rearrange and get a lot of stuff set up in here to actually become Work for World headquarters, which may or may not, depending on what we can squeeze in here, have a perfect spot for filming. So we've got one more stop before the end of the day today. We're going to meet up with Chris, aka C Bailey 619, aka the guy that mad dogs me and looks like he wants to kill me in every single one of my videos. We are going to look at some new properties that are getting built. Now, one of my favorite things in the world is real estate. Properties, construction, real estate, property development, property management, everything that has to do with that. If you guys don't know, I was slated to get my real estate license. You know, in my senior year of high school, I was kind of not really paying attention to the teachers. I was actually studying for and passing all of my real estate courses, to which the state screwed up on scheduling my my real estate exams. And then, you know, 8 months later, they said, oh, hey, you're scheduled. And I had kind of pretty much forgotten most of the shit. Anyway, didn't end up working out. So even though that didn't work out, it never really changed my love or passion of real estate. And maybe one day if I ever get any free time, I'll go back and get my real estate license, because it's really not that hard to get. So that being said, I bought my first house when I was 19, and I'm 28 now. So 28, time to really start looking into a second property, and that's kind of what we're on our way to do. All right, so here we are, and check this out, guys. This is the trip. We filmed the Kodiak video pretty much in this spot that we're standing in right now, and that was, if you look back, not that long ago. I've already been to these properties once. I'm here to show Chris them this time. But the last time we were here, we actually met the president of KB Homes, and you know, super cool guy. And talking with him, they built these in 2 months, which is actually really impressive, especially if you guys have ever built anything. 2 months, that's pretty crazy. So while we wait for Chris, let's talk about money real quick. Especially to you younger guys that are out there and up and coming and trying to kind of establish yourself, establish your credit. And here's why good credit is important. So when I bought this truck and when I bought my previous truck, I was in a financial situation to where I could have paid for the truck outright. And normally I advise to do that. Don't rack up random credit card bills. Don't buy shit unless you can pay for it in cash. Same with your credit card. Don't put something on your credit card unless you have the money to back it up in cash. I mean, obviously emergency situations demand different things, but the reason I did not pay for these trucks outright is because my credit is to where it's at, to where I can get such a low interest rate that it makes more sense to keep the money in my bank than it does to spend it all on a vehicle. Should a situation like this come up where there's a property or you know, there's a deal you can't pass up on something and you need the cash flow, it's better to be sitting in your bank as long as the interest rate's low enough. If you get some insane interest rate, you're just blowing money. But it's better to keep the money in your bank for a time that you need it, as long as you can get an interest rate low enough. And just like that, looks like the big man showed up. Think he's gonna be in a good mood today. Let's see. How many of you guys think he's gonna smile right when he gets out of the truck? Let's go find out. And yes, Chris needs an exhaust too. If you guys have any ideas for an exhaust on Chris's truck, let him know, because he really needs some ideas. Say hi to everybody, buddy.
How's it going?
That was kind of a smile. Was that a smile?
No.
Oh. All right, well, yeah, it's not a smile. Hey, so we were talking about the new 2019 Silverados. What do you think about them?
They're ugly.
You don't like them?
Nope.
You glad you bought a 2016 GMC?
Yep.
What do you think GMC is going to do with their 2019s?
Hopefully make them look like that.
Oh, that's already been done, bro. That's played out. That's played out. Who buys 2016s anymore? Oh.
You do?
No. Never mind. So, hey, man, you ready to go check these places out? What do you think? Me and you get one next to each other?
Just combine them?
Just combine them. There you go. And I'm sure a lot of you guys in like the Midwest and states that actually have land are, they're probably going to laugh at this and say, why the hell would you buy something like that so close to each other? You can pretty much piss on your neighbor's house. But, you know, there's not a lot of real estate over here, or at least land-wise, there's not a lot of it over here. So kind of what you see is what you get. Property values are insanely high, but that means rental income is really high. Rents are really high. So if you own property, you're kind of sitting really well in this area. So here we go. Two ultra modern homes, really. They're not huge. Lots are not huge. 3 stories. We'll get some more specs for you guys in a second, but this is kind of what you get out in this part. Hi, my name is Dmaxryno. Welcome to my crib. Well, as you guys can see here, we got the downstairs man cave, wet bar, game room, whatever you want to call it. It's the lounge, you know. Light a couple cigars, have a good time. We got a nice full bath. You know, this man cave's an optional bedroom if you'd like. So, got a pretty sweet full bath in there. Now, this house is 3 stories, but the beautiful thing about it is it comes with an elevator that apparently they don't want us to use. So, we're taking the stairs. Welcome to the 2nd floor. This house is 2,600 square feet. Obviously, I said earlier, 3 stories, living room, kitchen over here, and then you also got like a weird 2nd living room, dining nook, even though you eat right here. I don't know, but it's actually really spacious, really open. If you guys notice, there's like a boomerang shape to the house. It's got like a weird angle in it, which is actually really cool, and I actually really like that. I'm kind of weirdly into like just enough modern style, but you know, not too much modern. So apparently we found the elevator car. It's hanging out here on the 2nd floor. It's a little small and it's weirdly like not all the way up to floor level. So I don't know if it's stuck, you know, kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't work. I don't know. Apparently I'm living in here.
Try now.
Nope, doesn't do anything. It doesn't work. But anyways, you can either get these places with or without the elevator. The elevator's a $45,000 option. If you don't get the elevator, you get 3 really large closets on all 3 floors. So, I mean, it's kind of a decent trade-off. So we've got a good sized pantry over here. Chris is exploring the little, like, I don't know what you'd call that. Do something cool with it for, like, being that your kitchen's on the other side. You can do something cool, a little serving something right there. Nice little half bath. Throw some of those in on the deal. Alright, well. Part of me really hopes those are expired Apple Jacks, but I don't think they are. Can't take Chris anywhere. Good work, buddy. Now we just bought a box of Apple Jacks. Take you guys on up to the 3rd floor where all the bedrooms are. Let's start over here. You know, the extra bedrooms. You got the laundry room. Nice bathroom here. And then you've got 2 pretty small bedrooms. You know, guest bedrooms, extra office space. All right, guys, now we're about to show you where all the magic happens and where, you know, these awesome Asian kids came from. Come on in, come check it out. It's the master bedroom. It's a little bit small, but it gets the job done, you know. You retain the super tall ceiling heights. It's just pretty sick to get that tall of a ceiling on a 3rd floor is, you know, it's pretty badass. Sweet, kind of smallish master bath, but, you know, not a bad size, an okay walk-in closet over there, but tons of light, tons of windows. They did a really good job with these places. Now I'm sure you guys are saying this place must have a fat yard for being as expensive as it probably is. And well, like I said, this is more urban living, so almost broke the door. You don't get much of a yard in these places. So obviously it's open over there, but I'm assuming that's going to get fenced off when these things are built. Obviously, you know, when they do model homes, they try and make them feel way more open than they're going to be when you actually buy them. But you get, this is what you get. You get a tiny little, pretty much a patio. Not horrible, you know, it's somewhat of an outdoor entertaining area. That's about it. I like a lot more space, but like I said, as an investment, as a rental property, you don't want a big yard to have to maintain, or to have a renter let it go to shit, and then you're screwed putting all this money into fixing the yard. So this is kind of it. So if you're wondering, there is a garage, 2-car garage in the back, and then they call this the truck parking space, is what they described it to me as. So I think it's 25 by 15, which is you know, enough space to park your truck. So that's kind of a cool little feature. There is a garage right there. Like I said, we met the president of KB Homes the last time we were here, and he said they built these exact same things up in Los Angeles, which obviously the real estate property is much more expensive up there, and they charged 3 times the amount they're charging here for this exact same property. So I mean, just kind of factor that in, you know. And with that, guys, we're going to wrap up this video. Who knows, maybe in a future video we'll be seeing one of these houses. You never know. Maybe we'll see a 2019. Probably not, but hey, the channel's wide open. We're up to doing a lot of crazy shit. So with that, if you guys have not clicked the subscribe button, please do so now. That way you can keep up with the BBB, the bigger, better, better build, which is parked in the parking lot over there. Please give this video a like, aka a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out Work For It Apparel. Please give my buddy behind the camera, Chris, a little bit of love. I will catch you guys on the next video. We're out.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.